So this fanfiction idea kind of came to me just shortly after watching that horrible ass ending for season 3. And I know what you're thinking, that's a little petty, but hey, fanfiction in itself is kind of petty, right? You don't like the ending of something? Well, we can just write a fanfiction where we change that ending for the better. Trust me, I've seen more petty stories on there on fanfiction.net. Anywho, so this is a what-if story. This is like a big what-if story, and that, of course, is, you can probably haven't guessed already, this is a story where what if Chloe was Ladybug instead of Marinette? And you may be wondering, well, how does this change? Because Chloe does not deserve that miraculous, so, and the first question is, how does Master Fu decide, why does Master Fu decide Chloe in this story? Well, in this story, Marinette misses her chance to meet Master Fu. She misses her chance to meet Master Fu, and he's still trying to find a worthy person to wield the Ladybug Miraculous. But then he runs into Chloe, who is, for lack of a better term, being shitty to someone, but at the same time he's like, look, I was young and impertinent, I was young and arrogant and all that, so he sees a bit of himself from his younger years when he was training with the other Guardians. And what happens is that he thinks back on that, and he's like, maybe someone just needs to show her the way. So maybe she can be Ladybug. Maybe Chloe can be Ladybug, and maybe this will help her. So, but at first he's like, well, first I got to put her through a test to see if there's any good in there. So what he does is that he pretends to be an old beggar man who is around the hotel that Chloe lives in, and what happens is that while he's out there, asking like spare change or whatever, and the rain starts coming down, Chloe stops by and is like, "Are you serious? This dude is just out in front of my hotel. Oh, you know what? Dude looks pathetic enough. I'll just give him a 5, and he can be on. I don't know what €5 are. The equivalent of $5 are in Paris. So forgive me, but just for layman's terms, here's $5. Go get food and get out of my sight." And Fu is like, well, it's a start. So he leaves Tiki with her, and Chloe, when she gets Tiki, is admittedly freaked out. So what happens, basically, is that Tiki becomes her voice of reason throughout the story, is that Tiki is the one teaching Chloe and all that. And Chloe is still, well, Chloe, because at first she's like, well, wait until I tell Daddy, and now everyone's going to really love me now. And Tiki's like, don't do that. she's like Jiminy Cricket for Chloe. She's being her conscience. And now your next question is, well, is Adrien still Cat Noir? Yes, he is. He is still Cat Noir. He gets the ring. But instead of like having a Chloe and Adrien story, this is still a Marinette story. You see, in this story, Marinette is still, in the story. She's not written out or anything. But in here, also, she's not a villain. She does. I did have the idea where she gets acumenized and becomes this universe's anti-Bug, because in here she kind of cries foul on Ladybug in the first few times, because yeah, it's still Chloe. So Chloe is still very like arrogant. She's still very full of herself, and she's still learning. But one of the moments I wanted to have was during like the events of Stoneheart, and actually someone gets killed, and that's what makes Chloe like snap out of it, is like, oh my god, this is real, people are dying. So it becomes a very nut up or shut up kind of moment. Also, the relationship between her and Cat Noir is like more of like partners, more like, Batman and Robin. But Chloe is still Chloe, and also during the Stoneheart storyline, what happens is that Adrien saves Marinette, and that forms a relationship, while Chloe is like, yeah, it's obviously Adrien, that's Cat Noir, because these characters aren't stupid. Because she's like, it takes her a minute to like put 2 and 2 together, because there's a moment I had in this story where Chloe is the one hitting on Adrien. It's the other way around. Instead of Cat Noir hitting on Ladybug, it's the other way around. Because in here, Chloe as Ladybug is she's putting 2 and 2 together. She's hitting on him. Is like, So you like this little girl named Marinette. Adrian likes this guy named Adrian. And Adrian at that point is like, I know it's you, Chloe. You couldn't stop for 5 seconds not be, just the way you talk, your mannerisms, I figured it out the first time I saw you. So they keep each other's identities safe, and they kind of learn from one another. And Chloe is still... She's still full of herself. She's still like, I want to tell the world. And she also kind of steps on people. But at the same time, like, she's learning from Tiki and little moments with Master Fu that... yeah, this is you're being a dick. Stop being a dick. That was kind of like the idea for every moral of the story was don't be a dick. That was the whole like the whole premise for this, because I was like, yeah, Chloe, after how they shit-canned her character arc in season 3, yes, I'm still bitter about that. I was like, you know what? I'll think of this random little idea of what if Chloe became Ladybug, and instead of like completely altering everything, I was just like, nah, Chloe's the only big change. You still have the Ladybug, although I was thinking that Alia is more like the Ladybug is more like is like the Daily Bugle, and Alia is like Chloe's Jameson. In that, when they first meet and Chloe is prancing herself as Ladybug, she causes all this damage during Stoneheart and all that, and Alia's like, this woman is going to get somebody killed, and she's wearing a mask, she doesn't know what the hell she's doing, she's trying to be like this big heartthrob and whatever. That's it. I don't like her. I don't like her, and if Cat Noir, you're affiliated with her, fuck you too. So, yeah, Alia in this continuity is like Chloe's J. Jonah Jameson. The other major thing in here is that, like I said, Marinette is not on the Chloe train, because, yeah, she was still, when they first had that meeting, she was like a bully to her, and then Ladybug was, not so gracious about, saving her. So, yeah, Marinette eventually does become this universe's anti-Bug, but does that make her a villain? No, she's actually not the, like, Volpina or Lila of this show. It's not just because, oh, I made Chloe the hero, I made Marinette the villain. No. You could still have, like, a supporting cast and still use these characters without... I made Marinette anti-Bug, but that was literally it. I was also thinking, like, with this idea that what you could do, like, what I could do is, like, since Chloe isn't Ladybug, Marinette can be Queen Bee, and that can be another inversion right there. The other thing is that, again, Chloe does learn from her mistakes. She slowly becomes a better person, and she also, the other thing I wanted to have with this story is that what Chloe does is that since she has all this money and backing with the city, is that she kind of utilizes the money she has, and it kind of goes into helping her crime fighting. Like she can now look for villains on a citywide level with the with the security system. She can now invest in learning new techniques. She can actually pay people to train her to fight. It's a whole thing. Like, she kind of goes the Batman route, but without the gloom and doom. She also considers telling her father that she is Ladybug, but Tiki's like, no, that's a really bad idea, because if and Chloe's like, 1, he's the mayor, 2, he's my dad, he's gonna figure it out at some point. But Tiki's like, no, that is, that's a really bad idea, because your dad's just gonna be on the crosshairs for Hawkmoth. And she's like, shit, that's a good point. Never mind. Yeah, so that was kind of the loose idea I had. Yes, I know there are some fanfiction out there of Chloe becoming Ladybug, but I was like, why not? I'll just throw my hat in the ring. Because I've seen a lot of those, and they just make like, oh, we're going to make Chloe the hero, so we're going to make Marinette the Chloe of this universe. So it isn't like a reverse universe or anything. It's just like a Marvel what-if story. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this? Do you guys like it, hate it, and what would you do with a what-if story where Chloe became Ladybug, and what would you do with that universe? Would you keep Adrian as Adrian as Cat Noir? Would you make it Sabrina? Just all that other stuff. Just comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.